Hey there. So I'm currently on the Spanish island of Gran Canaria, where I'm attending the Mont Pelerin Society meeting. First of all, I wanted to thank Universitat Francisco Marroquín, as well as the Freedom Today network for making this trip possible. Please check them out below. UFM actually now also is present in Madrid in Spain. So for those of you who are Spanish speakers, that could be something very interesting to check out. Also, do check out Freedom Today. I'm also writing for them occasionally, so you can find that at ftn.media. Today I wanted to talk to you about the Spitzenkandidaten system. You might have heard of this before, and it sounds a bit strange because it has a German name. So I was considering that maybe I'll explain this system to you and what it means for the upcoming European election in May. I actually forgot to time myself, so I might as well just introduce the timer here, because otherwise you guys are going to complain that I take too much time and I want to stay under 5 minutes. So the Spitzenkandidaten system is basically, Spitzenkandidaten, what it means in German is lead candidate. The system basically says that the political parties that are running in the European election all choose a candidate, a lead candidate for their party. And the party that receives the most seat in the European Parliament after the European election will then be able to choose the Commission president. So that means that the European Commission that drafts all the legislative content inside the European Union. Now, this process was different until 2014. In 2014, it was introduced. Before, it was the way that the European Council, so that means the heads of government and state of the European Union, of the member states, they chose a candidate themselves, meaning that very often it was somebody that really nobody had ever heard of and nobody really felt connected to. And the idea with the Spitzenkandidaten system was to make people aware of the candidates beforehand, because then they had public debates, a lot of interviews, and they were really on the spotlight. So people knew who the important people were that are running for the Commission president. And the system has also come under fire. There's a couple of EU leaders who are not happy about it. Well, generally, actually, nobody's happy about it, if you really think about it. The European Council is not happy about it because it really takes their power away to choose a candidate and gives it to the political parties. The political parties are unhappy outside of the European People's Party because no European political party can actually reach the most seats outside of the EPP because they simply do not have enough member parties in the individual states. You should actually also consider, when you consider to vote, if this is something you're interested in, which European political party that the party you're voting for is member of. Because this actually has an influence on who can become the next Commission president. Has the system really given more legitimacy to the Commission president? I wouldn't say so. Most people are actually completely unaware of the system altogether, despite us having it in 2014, and despite Jean-Claude Juncker being Commission president based on the system. For those of you who remember the debate in 2014, Jean-Claude Juncker was then designated as the candidate, but then a number of states opposed it. So there was a discussion because David Cameron was trying to lead an opposition against the process itself after the election, but trying to get Angela Merkel on board to avoid having Jean-Claude Juncker as Commission president. And it's possible that the same is going to happen again, because now we already have announcements. Emmanuel Macron is not in favor of the system. He calls it a very weird democratic process. And Matteo Salvini, the Interior Minister of Italy, is also against it. So you see different fronts inside the European Union already showing, opposing the Spitzenkandidaten system. I, for myself, do not understand why it is not possible to combine both systems of a majority in Parliament and a lead candidate. Nothing really. If the European Union wants to pretend to be a democracy as all the others of the member states, what it should do is that the political parties say, okay, this is the candidate who we suggest becomes Commission president if we win. And then when parties have to make coalitions to get a majority for a candidate, then they have to choose which candidate it is going to be. This is exactly how it works in parliamentary democracy. In many parliamentary democracies across the whole European Union, for those of you who are from Belgium, the Netherlands, Luxembourg, Spain, whichever country, you have a lot of countries that are already run in the system. It would give it more legitimacy because the people that were debating, all of them, well, had more of a chance because they could be relevant in the next commission. And it would make it more democratic altogether. Because what we have now is the lead candidate being chosen by the party that got the most seats. That is indeed, as Macron says, a very, very odd system and very unprecedented. Just checking the time, and I'm under 5 minutes. So thank you so much for your attention, and I'll be seeing you this week. Thank you.